Chag Sameach from the Dome. In one short week, we saw a hot-button issue at the Capitol get very real for hundreds of thousands of Colorado school kids, back-asswardness that should have been extinct decades ago, a state senator who really doesn't know what on earth he's talking about, and, oh yeah, the Russians. Let's get started. Saturday marked the 20th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting. But in the days leading up to April 20th, a young woman from Florida suffering from mental illness and reportedly obsessed with Columbine made specific threats, then flew here to Colorado and bought a gun, prompting the closure of schools up and down the Front Range on Wednesday. Sadly, authorities were not able to intervene before 18-year-old Saul Pais took her own life. But the tragedy, which could have been much worse, is a lesson in why laws like the Extreme Risk Protection Order bill passed this year in the legislature are so important. People are still asking the question, rightfully so, how on earth can someone in the midst of a mental health crisis like this fly to another state, buy a gun and ammunition in order to harm herself or others? It's a question that we frankly don't know how to answer. Speaking of protecting kids, a bill to help improve Colorado's worst in the nation childhood vaccination rate is making its way through the legislature. And last week, so-called anti-vaxxers descended on the Capitol to make their misguided case for not vaccinating children against preventable diseases like measles, of which, of course, Colorado is in the middle of an outbreak. A Republican lawmaker actually said that recent epidemics such as autism have prompted parents to understandably be suspicious of vaccines as the cause, regurgitating one of the biggest medical myths of the last 50 years. Every Republican on the committee voted against the bill, making Colorado Republicans officially the party of measles. Or maybe they just had the world's biggest measles party at the Capitol. Either way, wash your hands all the time, forever, and please, for the love of God, vaccinate your kids. And that brings us to the worst thing said by an elected official in Colorado last week, and that is no small feat.
I will argue that climate change is occurring, but in the reverse order. We have made massive improvements in our climate. Massive improvements.
That's Senator Ray Scott of Grand Junction arguing against a bill to collect data on climate change. He thinks the climate is getting better.
Understanding that we have improved the climate dramatically from the past 80 years.
Now, if you're talking about visible air pollution, which isn't climate, but just to give Senator Scott the benefit of the doubt, he is still wrong. Colorado air quality has been getting steadily worse over the past decade, but the issue at hand is human-caused climate change, which is rapidly approaching the point of global no return.
Forever.
The science is clear, but it's lost on Senator Scott, and for that matter, the majority of Republicans in the Colorado legislature as well. Good stuff continues to crank out at the state capitol with just a couple weeks left to go in the 2019 legislative session. Colorado is already one of the top states for voter turnout and the #1 state in the whole country for eligible voter registration, but a new law supported by Secretary of State Jenna Griswold will make us even better by automatically registering every eligible voter in Colorado. No fuss, no muss.
And that's a long step up from tyranny.
No more jumping through hoops in order to exercise your most fundamental right. No more barriers between people and their rights. That's how it should be. And in Colorado, that's how it's going to be very, very soon. And finally, last Thursday, Donald Trump's Attorney General, William Barr, finally released a redacted version of the Mueller investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. And even though Barr tried like hell to bury the report's conclusion with his dizzying press conference, it's really, really bad for Trump.
Really bad, very, very bad, very, very bad.
So bad that Republican Senator Mitt Romney, remember him?
Binders full of women.
Said that he was sickened by Trump's actions, while our second favorite senator from Colorado, Cory Gardner, can't wait to stop talking about the whole thing so we can get back to campaigning right alongside Trump for 2020.
Chaos is a ladder. Climb is all there is.
It looks like this isn't over by a long shot.
Wasn't over. Still isn't over.
And that's really bad news for Trump, Republicans, and anyone sharing the ballot with him in this year's elections. You shouldn't have been so quick on that endorsement there, Senator. And that's it for episode 13 of Last Week in Colorado Politics. Thanks again for watching, sharing.
I drink your milkshake.
Commenting, even you haters, down below. Drop us a line and say hi on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or tell us what you think in the comments. See you next week.